Institutions like the Public Protector's Office are important cornerstones of our democracy to keep power in check by holding state organs and functionaries to account and to act as a final port of call for citizens who have exhausted all other efforts to obtain justice. The current incumbent advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane has been caught in the crosshairs over her findings and recommendations, so much so that her fitness to hold office has become the subject of heated and divided debate in South Africa. Should her office be in the news for all the wrong reasons? On Madam Speaker, we ask if she is fit to hold office, has she acted credibly, or is she an unfair target? This is my cabinet. On the panel from Business Leadership South Africa, the COO Busisiwe Mavuso, the BLF's Zanele Elwana, and on our jury, Freedom Under Law's CEO Nicole Fritz, OUTA's Chief Legal Officer Stefanie Fick, and the SACP's Alex Mashilo. Good evening to all of my guests. Thank you very much for joining us. And as I've said before, throw away your pieces of paper. Let's try and get into the subject as quickly and efficiently as we can. Busi, let's start with you. Why have you lost trust in Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane?
So I think along the same sentiments, Iman, that we've expressed this business, that we want a cabinet that is of high moral and ethical standing. Unfortunately, Busisiwe Mkhwebane has failed that test. This is someone who has been found by a court of law to have made profound mistakes of law, to not fully understand her constitutional mandate, and has actually eroded the public trust, in her ability to act in a fair and impartial manner.
Right, so you speak specifically right about the, for example, in the latest, the Pretoria High Court, who on several occasions has found in a similar vein on different subjects, whether it was on the Frida dairy project or on issues relating to the Treasury.
And I think let's not be confused. There is nothing innocent about her, producing the report that she produced at the timing that she did. So her timing is not innocent at all. Remember, look at these inconsistencies. She actually submits this report 48 hours after PG makes her representations.
You're talking about the Public Enterprises Minister, Pravin Gordhan, and her ongoing standoff with his office to get him to answer questions.
Absolutely. So within 48 hours of receiving that report or the representations from PG, she quickly goes and submits or produces the report that she produced. And then look at the Freda dairy farm, where she sat with information for 22 months and failed to interview the people that she was supposed to interview, and failed to interview Isma Hashula, for instance, and said that she didn't have the time to do so.
All right, so we'll interrogate those themes. Yeah. We'll interrogate those themes just now, but sitting next to you is Zanele Elwana, who believes that this is an unfair targeting of the public protector. Why do you believe that she is the right person for the job and deserves to keep it?
We believe as Blackfist Landfist that the public protector advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane is being targeted on a political campaign to get her out of office, particularly because of the radical decisions she has taken as the public protector. You would remember that the attack, where it initiated on the office of the public protector, is firstly when she ordered ABSA to pay back billions that they have benefited from out of the billions of rands, including the likes of Johan Rupert, money that was looted out of the South African Reserve Bank. She had also come out clear about the mandate of the South African Reserve Bank needing to be transformed so that it can address the needs of the poor, the needs of the black majority in South Africa. So these then, we believe, representatives of white monopoly capital, lobby groups such as Business South Africa, who only advocate for interest of white monopoly capital, who have no problem, for example, about Ramaphosa, that there is overwhelming evidence that he and his son benefited from proceeds of corruption via the Busasa
So notwithstanding you saying, Zanele, that there is a political campaign, is what you're saying, that she's doing her work in the context of a political campaign to unseat her, what about the findings of her inability to execute office on some of the basic tenets of law?
Our position is that there are also many decisions that have come out on judges, particularly in the judiciary, who have taken wrong decisions. They are still allowed to practice. No one calls for them to be recalled. This then shows us how racist and sexist this particular campaign is. This is a precedent that has been set, we believe, as Blackfist Landfist, particularly when the office of the public protector was used by the white opposition parties such as Democratic Alliance as a political arm to vilify those who stand against white monopoly.
So the court is advancing this agenda is what the argument of the BLF is, that they're all playing this game together along with politicians.
All we are saying as Black First Land First is that this is the first public protector in the country which investigates all matters, including allegations of corruption of white monopoly capital.
All right,
the problem is that in South Africa...
Take a breath for me, Busisiwe.
So I think we're going to have to stick to the substance here in discussing this matter. This is someone who has had 4 reports set aside because she has been found to be incompetent and not applied herself properly. This is someone who has been found by a court of law to have abused their office. This is someone who has been found by a court of law to have been biased in her reporting. So I think advancing the gender and the race issue is relevant. You are either pathetic or you're not. You are either excellent or you're not. You know, excellence has no color. So I think let's not hide behind gender and race. And I think from our perspective as Business Leadership South Africa, our second mandate of our strategy says that we need to protect the key institutions in this country. And why that is important to us, Iman, is precisely because we have seen that the last decade attacked such institutions to ensure, you know, that the industrial scale looting that has happened over the past 10 years, which has costed this country 100 billion rands per year over the past 10 years, you know, was first to ensure that we devalue and deface these, you know, institutions that are meant to protect the public.
All right, that's quite a heated and animated start to the question of whether the public protector is fit to hold office. And coming up, my jury weighs in. You're watching, Madam Speaker.